Hi, my name is Sam. Today I'm joined by my friends Eve, Liv, and Kevin, and we're going to be talking a little bit about Melbourne from a student's perspective. So, without further ado, let's go. Located in the southeastern region of Australia, Melbourne is the largest and the capital city of Victoria. First declared as a city in 1851 by Queen Victoria, it is now currently home to 5 million people, each with their own unique culture and ethnicity. With only 20% of them being Australian, according to the 2016 Melbourne census, Melbourne is often considered to be one of the most culturally diverse cities in the world, and was ranked first as the most livable city by the Economist Intelligence Union for 8 years in a row due to their focus on improving the infrastructure and the quality of living. The text type that I have chosen for this project is going to be a review, and I am going to be reviewing the culture of the Australian people, or more commonly known as the Aussies. In my review text type, I reviewed an up and coming rock band from Michigan who are reigniting rock music for the younger generations. But there is a much older band from Australia called AC/DC, whose names are synonymous with the rock and roll genre of music, and they are one of my favorite bands to date. I find that the music that they produce is very representative of Australian culture, in that Aussies are very outgoing and straightforward people. They are loud, they talk a lot, and they love going outside to meet people and to socialize. This can come as a surprise to a lot of international students, especially ones that come from Asian backgrounds, where people are generally more reserved and timid. Another large aspect of Australian culture that often comes as a shock to international students is the freedom that everyone has when it comes to expressing themselves. People in Melbourne take immense pride in cultural diversity, and so the people here freely express themselves as a person without fear of societal norms and judgment. This is such a vast difference from what the culture is like for international students, particularly those from Asian backgrounds, where there is immense pressure to conform to what society considers is the norm. They are generally raised to be very timid and quiet, not dressed in ways that stick out, and act in ways that are deemed proper.
Hello everyone, I'm Liv and I'm going to talk about the expectations versus the reality of Melbourne. And the text type I chose is a letter to myself. I wrote a letter to my past self, and I always wanted to study abroad, and this was biggest my biggest dream since high school. I always imagined myself as an international student in Australia, and after graduating from high school, I got an offer from Swinburne University. And I started imagining myself in Melbourne for months, and I waited for moving here for so long. And to be honest, the reality of Melbourne was much higher than my expectations. I like people because they're so nice and polite and respectful. I love everything, including food, desserts, the weather, and more. Also, most importantly, I did not expect anything from university, but I truly like it here. The teachers, students, the classrooms are all lovely, and I enjoy my time here very much. I used to hate going to school back when I was in high school, and since it was so stressful, but now all I want to do is attend classes and meet my classmates. I believe that it shows that college is a wonderful fit for me. Compared to my country, I saw a lot of pets in Melbourne. Almost I saw more dogs than babies. All the animals are so loved here. In my country, we do not pay that much of attention to animals like here. There are so many differences, like this one here, and this is the smallest example. I want to say to my past self that you made it, and now I'm studying at one of the best universities in Australia. Sometimes I miss my past self, even though I didn't have any idea how to apply to college. I was always confident and persistent that I'm going to study at one of the best unis in the world. And yeah, you made it, and you never gave up and try your best. So you achieve your goal. I want to say to my past self. And however, I can still remember clearly the tough moments when I wanted to give up and go back to my previous school, the times when I ate lunch alone and more. But I want to tell you that studying at that school is the best choice you've ever made. So don't worry about the future. Just try your best. And university life is as good as your expectations. So do not worry and be happy.
Hi everyone, my name is Kevin. The text type I've chosen for this project is short story. My short story is about a man who has recently come to Melbourne and found his lover in the street full of graffitis. Speaking of which, Melbourne is popular for its street art and design. Every lane is colorful and full of street arts. In 2004, many international street artists came to Melbourne to attend the first stencil festival. One of them was Banksy, and he's famous for his art called There's Always Hope. He sells his arts between 3,000 to 882,000 euro, which is actually extremely expensive. In Melbourne, there is a piece of art in ACDC Lane, and it was painted by Banksy and 5 founding Melbourne street artists. But unfortunately, Banksy's arts are being destroyed by the construction workers in Melbourne. But there is a last Banksy work remaining in Melbourne, is in Horseshoe Lane. Horseshoe Lane started to become famous as a street gallery in 1998, and this street attracts actually around 5,000 visitors every day, and it has the best and famous street arts among the other lanes. The lane is sometimes called Practice Alley because anyone can go and draw their marks. There are many arts that photographers love to take a photo of.
Hello, my name is Eve, and the text type I've chosen for this project is a how-to instructional text type. For my personal instructional writing, I've chosen to write a recipe and a step-by-step instruction on how to make sweet and spicy chicken. I got this inspiration for this recipe back when I visited Korea. I really enjoy eating Asian food, and there are plenty of different Asian food restaurants here in Melbourne, with different varieties ranging from Vietnamese, Chinese, Korean, Cambodian, Japanese, and much more. I will be instructing you guys on how to get to Hai Di Lao, Angkor Noodle, and Sura Korean Barbecue. These 3 restaurants are my favorite ones so far. Standing at the exit of Flinders Street Station on Flinders Street, you have to take the tram down on Swanston Street to Melbourne Central Station. Get off at Melbourne Central Station and go to QV. Then you'll see Foot Locker. Go through a small pathway between Foot Locker and Hype. For about 100 meters, you'll see a sushi shop on your left. Turn left in the small path, and for about 20 meters on your left, you'll see Sura Korean Barbecue. Sura Korean Barbecue is a Korean-style barbecue that not only caters grilled meat, but also a lot of Korean side dishes. If Korean barbecue is not what you're craving right now, you have an option of having a hot Chinese-style soup at Hai Di Lao. To get there from Sura Korean Barbecue, you must make your way back to Swatsun Street and turn left to Lonsdale Street. Then, on Lonsdale Street, follow along towards Elizabeth Street. Before reaching Elizabeth Street, right in front of Melbourne Central Station, you would see Emporium Melbourne on your left. Enter the compound and go up the 3rd floor. Once you've reached the 3rd floor, look for Pigeonhole, and diagonal of it is Hai Di Lao. If you're craving or want to try Cambodian food, there's a good restaurant in Noble Park. Since you're at Emporium, you must find your way back to Flinders Street Station. Catch your Pakenham or Craneburn line and stop at Noble Park. Make your way out of the station, and once you've got out of your station, make your way down to Douglas Street. Take a walk on Douglas Street down to Heatherton Road. Along the road, on your right-hand side, you will see a Cambodian noodle shop called Uncle Noodle. So this is our guide for international students around Melbourne. Thank you for watching.